Miami, Tua, 338 yards passing. Tyreek Hill, when he's not being arrested by the police outside the stadium, he and Jalen Waddle combined for 15 catches, 239 yards, and the Miami Dolphins posted a victory over Jacksonville, which was really scrappy to hang in there and make it a close game. But Miami looks really, really good. And in terms of Tyreek Hill, the video that has surfaced of him being handcuffed, him lying face down on the pavement, and, then his post-game press conference, I don't understand what happened. I have to think about it. We know what happened because the Miami police today released details that he was ultra uncooperative when they stopped them for speeding in front of the stadium with all these people and citizens walking on the sidewalks, and he's flying down there in his Tesla. Tyreek lives in a different world. He wants us to analyze it. And he said, yeah, you wonder what would happen if I wasn't Tyreek Hill. Well, Miami police are going to wind up clearing themselves of this whole situation because they've kind of gone public with the details that Tyreek was really uncooperative with the police when he got stopped. Denver, Bo Nix, welcome to the NFL. He scuffled. He struggled. He got 2 picked, didn't throw any touchdowns, but this is week 1 NFL. And you didn't see this level of defense in the preseason when he was excelling. They're just going to work through his learning curve. But I tell you, it was really hostile. They raised the flag of the 12th man. Cam Chancellor, former Seahawks star, was the one who was atop the stadium raising the number 12 flag, which represents Seahawk fans. And they were all amped up because they were wearing their old Seahawk blue and silver, which really is cool compared to whatever they're wearing right now. So Bo Nix is facing not only the Seahawks, 11 players on defense, he was facing the fans in the stands, the 12th man. But there's a learning curve there. Tell you, the one's got to be concerned is the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson looked terrible. Deshaun Watson, 2 interceptions, 6 quarterback sacks because he didn't have a running game. And he's got wide receivers who couldn't get the ball to him. He wasn't accurate whatsoever. So the Browns have got to be concerned. How's that $230 million a year package guaranteed working out?
It's working out great for him.
Yeah, for him. Nobody else in Cleveland. So Browns got to be a little bit worried about that. Chicago Bears, tough start. Caleb Williams, who had done a lot of dazzling stuff in preseason, now suddenly realizes when we get to opening day, that's a real pass rush that's coming at you. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to be able to run for him. You can't do reverse pivots because if you pivot away from one guy, you're going to turn and pivot right into the other guy coming at you. He only threw for 93 yards. Yeah, I think he was really frustrated. But like Bo Nix, it's a learning curve. It is a process. Green Bay. They hung in there with Philadelphia. Philadelphia looked really good. Saquon Barkley looked really good. Jalen Hurts throwing the football looked really good. Jordan Love rallied them and they kept them in the game, and then he got hurt. And to me, it looked fluke. He got twisted, got tackled down around the ankles and was going down, but he got hit and he got bent. And so he's got a strained knee ligament. And they are talking 3 to 6 to 8 weeks for Jordan Love. So he's on the sidelines in Green Bay. They're going to promote Malik Willis, the young quarterback they just got from Tennessee in the middle of training camp. They have made contact with the veteran Ryan Tannehill, the ex-Tennessee Titan star. They might bring him in for a physical and meeting. But to take a veteran quarterback, you can't plug him into a meeting room and say, here's the playbook. Be ready to be on the field tomorrow, Wednesday.
Hey, Baker Mayfield did it.
Sometimes not very well. They're going to talk to Ryan Tannehill. They may have to sign him. They do have the cap space to do that. So that's the next group of teams that we want you to join us on Fans Forum. And I'll let John Riley influence what you're going to write because he's got opinions on this stuff.
Well, for Miami, the game they won, and I know they had a big comeback, but the whole Tyreek Hill thing it's tricky. It's tricky. Because on one level, you don't want some Yahoo driving his fast car around pedestrians around the stadium, but then there's always concern about there's race, there's police, there's a lot of other factors here, and some people jump to conclusions. So
well, he pulls that card out of his pocket in a press conference after the game yesterday. He pulled the race card out.
Well, yeah, but if you're acting dangerously and being uncooperative, then so be it. But anyways, it's just a touchy thing to try to analyze. The funny thing, not funny, but interesting for me is for both Bo Nix and Caleb Williams with the Bears, They both struggled in week one, and we were optimistic about them in the preseason. And then meanwhile, some of these old veterans that have been around for a while, like Sam Darnold, had a really good game. So it just goes to show you it's so hard to win as a rookie.
In the regular season, it's a very different game in the regular season rather than playing a preseason game in late July. I will tell you this, at the end of the day, quarterbacks need time. And one of the coaches in a post-game press conference, and I can't recall which one it was because I watched too much football yesterday. One of the coaches said, "You do understand that Troy Aikman was 1-15 as a rookie?"
That's a good response.
You do understand Peyton Manning was 3-13 and led the world in interceptions for a first-year quarterback forever. His name is still in the record book. You could go look it up. So a coach was responding to how hard it was for Bo Nix or for Caleb Williams by comparing them to the greatness of guys who really had bad starts on bad teams.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a tough assignment in the NFL. Jordan Love, you got to feel bad. That was just a horrible situation for them. So the Packers, their lights are dimming on week one, just like the Jets last year.
Cleveland, I don't know if it's bad yet, but winter is coming in Cleveland. It might be bad early, though. If Deshaun Watson can't be the player he used to be in Houston, after all the money Jim Haslam gave him, the 3 draft picks they gave up, the guarantees that are locked in forever, he did not look anywhere near being the quarterback that they need him to be in Cleveland. So, boy, if they don't have vintage Deshaun Watson and they already don't have Nick Chubb, their heavy-duty back, it's going to be miserable. Up until winter comes in, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's brutal. I was watching NBC, and then, and the game ended. It went to our local NBC affiliate, and they have the 4 guys there, that do the post game. And they're great guys, but one of them made an interesting comment. And he said, it seemed like Justin Fields' brain still thought he had a young athletic body, but his body was not synchronized with the brain. And so when he would try to do something, the body was a split second slow and inaccurate.
Okay, that's unique rationalization.
But
when he tried to do it, he was doing it against NFL defenses, which he never saw at Ohio State.
And I think he hasn't played in like over a year or something. So, he's definitely rusty. He's got a lot of work to do to earn that paycheck.
We're looking for football fans. Fans Forum, jump into the chat box.